got the boat moved over to where I can use my engine hoist to take some of the, my plan is to lift it from the lifting point here. I'm going to disengage the hydraulic ram that lifts it up and down. So I'm going to trim it all the way up with the battery, pull the pin, trim it down to pull the ram down, and then this will be free. And I can support it with the engine crane and hopefully lift weight off just enough to be able to hammer that tilt tube in, and then I might have enough clearance then if I get an inch or so. So that's the plan. But first I need to trim this up. I don't have any batteries in the boat right now, so I disconnected the trim connector that runs down to the motor, and I'm going to use a 12-volt battery with some test leads. Okay, so real simple here. It only goes one way. Well, not one way. You apply voltage in one direction, it goes up, and another the other. So that's down. So I'll reverse my black and red here. Alright, so now I should be able to pull the ram down with the battery. Alright. So now should be able to just tilt that motor back myself. Now I need to bring the lift in, hook it to that lift point, and see if we can't. I wonder if I should try to lift right from here. Throw a strap in there. That way it's more direct. Yeah, rather than pulling from the head that way. Give that a shot. Let's see. Be right back. Bought these little shorty ones. Let's see if this moves at all. Might be moving a little bit. Now I'm going to try to just pull straight up on that engine clip, engine lift point. I got it started. So I messed with the weight again, and then I switched to my 4-pounder. So this side's not popping out, so maybe that's the secondary problem. That side's frozen in there. That's definitely separate. So I spent a few hours yesterday heating and banging, air hammering, banging, destroyed the nuts on the end of the tilt tube, both sides. I think that my problem is that this is just so frozen in here after 30 years. I don't think this has been out, that it's not moving. Now luckily the motor's free on the tilt tube, and that's what I think these Zerks just help lube up the point between the tube and the actual tilting mechanism. Point is, I'm going to go with plan B. Plan C is removing the motor from the transom, which I absolutely do not want to do given the age. And this is a junky, corroded motor. I'm just trying to get life out of it because it still works. I'm going to do something a little barbaric for plan B. I've zip tied these kind of out of the way, and I've used this as a brief template so you can see. My plan now is to drill a second hole in the fiberglass there. I'm gonna start with a pilot hole here. It's almost through. So I'm going to feed the cable from the helm side first, up through the new hole. Do a test fit. Let's see. So that should do it. Now I gotta get new locking tabs. Might be able to pick those up today, get this side secured in there, and call that a day. And then we gotta fish the rest of it up through. I'm thinking about the best way to fish this through, and I cut the sleeve on the old cable and exposed some of these, like the reinforcement, I don't know what you would call them, metal strands, whatever. And what I'm thinking is I can use those as a way hook around the new cable. You see, because this new cable is, be careful not to bend any of that though. So what I'm thinking is maybe I can, you see, like do something like this. Let's see. So take the crap out of it. I ended up jamming the new cable inside the sheath of the old one, wrapping the metal around it, and then taping it all up. Gave it a tug and it seems secure. Just hoping it doesn't disconnect on me as we're going for the pull. I'm gonna put some dish soap on the old and new cable. So if it gets snagged on anything, hopefully it'll just slip right on through. All right. Okay, fingers crossed. Some more. I think it's starting to come through. And it popped off, but see the end in here. So it made it all the way through. So all hope's not lost. I just need to figure out what the snag is. Okay, new cable's in. Here it is up on the helm. I had to reach my hand down in there and help pull it up. So I think I can try to get the helm in next. So this cable's still down there. I chucked the helm up in here. It's just kind of test fit everything in. Like that, maybe? That might do it. Well, I don't know how much time. The baby's starting to explode. So I tighten the bolts down. 3 in the center here, 3 on the outside, and then I just hammered lightly that keyway in. So if I take my steering, there it is. Actually, I don't want to do that just yet. I want my cover. What's this say? Max. Probably should have put that on before I put that keyway in, huh? I think it might let me hammer it on through. Let's have that keyway straight again. Screw these in first, and then I gotta go on a baby brake. Put that on like that, put this right down like that. Washer, lock nut, and baby timeout. It's gonna be hard to record this, but there's 2 pieces. Where is it? So this is the end piece here, the excess goes into it. And that mounts to this bottom hole, or the hole closest to me, with 1 bolt going through it. And the bolt just intersects this little channel like a keyway to hold this in. This, whether it's like a gear or a worm drive or something, is fed into that top hole there. The old one had a little key, but that's got 2 bolts on it. You see it? Or 2 nuts for 2 bolts. So I'll pull all the tape off, but you can see a channel on the metal end. So I'm gonna feed this cable up through the hole right here. Actually, there's no, just gonna, yeah, well, I'm gonna bring it through that hole anyway, but feed it in there, grab it with the wheel, turn the wheel so that it starts to feed out, and then I know that I'm in the worm gear. I'll back it off. I'll attach this to the end of it, spool it all the way out, and yeah, and then I guess we'll go do a check back here and see if that's coming in and out. But I won't be able to record too much of it, I don't think. Okay. So now I'll take this, one of these, So that's where the excess should go. There you go. So now I just got to run the 2 bolts in there and then we're done. Okay, final test here. If I turn the helm, there we go. Cool. I'm gonna run some grease in that, and then we're essentially done. When I get the new lock washers or lock nuts, I'll just slam the rod back in there, tighten this down, and we're done.